Hello, the real Amazon FBA seller here. What I'm going to be showing you today and teaching you about is bricking a listing. As you can see by this graph over here, the bright pink line has taken a dramatic plunge off a cliff, which is the price in which this product is selling at. And as you can see, this little -3% is down from its RRP. The price is falling off a cliff. Now, why does that happen? And what can you do about it as a seller to stop it causing you a loss? Because this product cost £8.25 to buy and it's now selling at £14.46, and you're actually losing 31p each time one of yours sells. So what is the point selling an item for a loss? That doesn't make any business sense whatsoever. And a big key part of it is this, what I'm circling here, which is the amount of offers, the amount of companies that are selling this product, 29. So what happens if there's 29 companies fighting for 94 sales a month? People are going to try and win what is called the buy box by any means necessary. And usually that is by lowering the price. You become the lowest price, undercut by a penny. There's quite a few Amazon FBA coaches out there who coach you this, undercut by a penny. It's wrong for starters. And the only thing you're going to do is teach everybody to undercut by 1p, and boom, the price drops all the way down till you're making, all of you are losing money. People who are teaching this, you need to sack these people off. They're teaching you nonsense. Think about it logically. The graphs don't lie. If we just open up this new window within SellerAmp. Now, I know this product appeared on you can get lead sourcing, emails, groups, Discord, Telegram groups, people selling leads. And what I mean by leads is, for example, this is being sold on Amazon for whatever price, but it can be bought at whatever wholesaler, whatever shop for cheaper. And with all the fees and stuff that you pay, you can make money. And they're not wrong. They are completely not wrong. But the point is, when they give these leads, and I know this lead came in around about in January. I know it did. The lead came in around about January when the price was 20 quid, 21 quid. That's what the price was, 21 quid. So, and if we follow this line down as well to the bottom, if we get all the information up there, we can see, let's just pause it. It's obviously going to change price roughly, but here we can see the price was selling at £19.85. And if we come down to here, in fact, we go back a little bit. We go back to where the price was really high. This will just prove something here. So when the price was, it was high and stable all across Christmas, high and stable, and it was selling for £21.69. And there was only one seller, offer count, one. All through January, and it kind of stays around about there until we have a bit of a drop off there. But as you look at these prices going across 2021, but roughly, it's all a roughly stable line. Look at this purple line here that's taking a dramatic jump up. Now the purple line is the offer count, and that is the amount of companies that are selling it. So watch as we go across, watch, follow the line, 9, 10, 14, 15, 21, 22, 23, 24, 20, 28, 29, 30, 33, boom. We've gone all the way down here to 1 to boom to 33, and is the complete opposite. We've seen the price completely fall off a cliff because one, Amazon FBA teachers are teaching people this, and this nonsense, because this is exactly what happens. And it's human. It's people wanting to sell their product. And if they're taught that if you undercut someone on the buy box or you put your price a little bit cheaper, you're more likely to get it. Yes, it is part of the algorithm, but it's not the full, complete part of it. There's so much more to it. And no one knows because Amazon will not release the algorithm. So it's all just guesswork. But what is the point in using guesswork when we know that human behavior shows that when there's more people competing, look at this bottom count. There's more people competing to sell the same product. Obviously, the price is going to completely drop because that's just the way it is. And people are teaching people this. The people are doing it. And I can almost guarantee if we go into the listing and we look at the sellers, I can guarantee you there's a lot of new sellers. So, in fact, these bigger sellers may be just trying to sell their product off because they realize they've kind of been shortchanged. I'll be honest with you, I'm surprised by this. The amount of reviews. I am just recording this live. I don't make stuff up or just. I could have looked at this before and I didn't. I'm surprised the amount of. I expected all kind of low reviews. If low reviews means you haven't been selling for that long because you get so many reviews per so many thousands of sales, because that's the way human behavior. A certain amount of people per sales will. Certain amount of sales will get you a certain amount of reviews, and if you're getting over 1,200 reviews and you're selling your product at 9p profit, I don't get it. Now, of course, that's only based on my cost price of where, because I looked at this lead and I put it into Seller Amp to see if it was profitable, and I put my cost price in, and the sale price at the time, this is the thing, when you go back to the graph, when the lead was actually given, is around about January. So we say £19.85. That's what it was selling at. And they would have said £19.85 with offer count 14. It's probably a little bit high. If we'd have gone back, £21.68, offer count 10. So when we punch those figures back in, so you bought it for £8.25. Let's just put in the sale price of £20. Now, to any lead company, buy it for £8.25, sell it for £20, £4.21 profit, 51% ROI. Do you see what I mean? But that's a genuine lead. That's genuine, because that was the cost price, because I did look it up. That was the cost price. But that lead company obviously has a big reach, and not just that as well. If one lead company can find it, another lead company can find it, and all the Amazon FBA sellers can find it. As you can see, 29 of them are now selling it, when only the middle of January, right at the beginning of January, there was 4. You can follow the numbers up and down, and you can see as the price is stable, the offer count's low, offer count creeps up, and you see it goes up, down, up, down, up, down, as people are trying to work out what price is set at. Also, people's reprices, their AI bots are doing the work for them, and a lot of people don't set them right, and that's difficult to set them right. And ultimately, you want to sell your product probably before it plunges off a cliff. This is the thing. Some people will also know, the more experienced Amazon sellers, they'll know, they'll start to see the offer count rise up and go, okay, if the offer count's rising up, we need to sell off. Maybe. So if they're selling off, they're dropping their price. Then other people drop their price. The repricer bots drop their price, and then boom, it just falls off a cliff. Absolutely falls off a cliff. So it's selling £14. You bought it for £8. You're now losing 68p per product. Never mind, you had to bundle it into 3 as well. So you had to pack them all up. That took time, and that took vacuum bags. It's what I'm just trying to prove in this video is that the graphs will give you the information. The problem we have here with these lead companies, now don't get me wrong, they have their uses, but it's on you to analyze the product properly. It's on you, and it's on you to know that other people are also going to be having these same leads as you. Maybe they haven't watched a video like this and they don't understand this. Maybe you didn't understand this, and maybe you now know they don't, but you now do. You take into consideration any information that's given to you, and you take it into account. You'd have been given this lead here. You'd have gone, okay, look, stable price, stable price, stable price, stable price, stable price. You've been given it, bought it, send it in. Oh no, everybody's dropping their price. Too many sellers, boom, bottomed out. What should we do? And that's a real problem, because that price has stayed stable now at that bottom price for 6 weeks. It's completely bottomed out, and that is bricking a listing. Completely bricking a listing. Because there's so many sellers, and naturally everyone will just price it, and it will just look, just 1645, 1623, 1594, 1525, 1512, 158, 1504. These are all people's bots, and they end up just going all the way down here to £14.46. According to my calculations, if they'd have bought this from the same lead company that I was offered, I'd be now selling my product at minus 31p. That's ridiculous as a business. Now, of course, you can only go on the information which you're given. And if you look at this information, you look at the statistics and you go, yeah, happy days, happy days. I would look at that. I would genuinely look at that and go, yeah, good stable price, offer count's all right. I'll probably look at the product. Yeah, good listing score, good little product. No one's going to send it back for returns. And the price it was at the time the listing was created was like 20 quid. And you'd gone, yeah, good amount of sales, good BSR, good profit, brilliant ROI. It's a brilliant product, like genuinely brilliant product. And if we look at the cost, last 90 days, buy box average 17.53. The last 30 bottomed out 14.20, 26. So this is where you can use the information which you're given, but the point you're given that information, you're there. And you couldn't possibly know it's going to do that. Or could you? Now, if we open the graph, you see down the bottom here, open the graph to like month, 3 month, year. If we look at the graph, we can get a fair representation of offer count goes down, up, down, up, down, up, down. It's sky high at the moment. That's because it's been offered on a review on a lead sourcing group. We also have to take into account the all time. Amazon do sell the product, and Amazon sell it at £14.97, which is pretty much the exact price it is at the moment. Which, if we put £14.97 in there, you would be losing money, and you'd be competing with Amazon, so it'd be pointless. So this is where it's important to open up the entire graph. You can see Amazon's price down here went to £9. Amazon went out of stock, but this is like years. It was in stock with it for years, 2013, 14, 15, 16, 18. And then they kind of went out of stock and didn't bother selling it anymore. So if you look, but then they came back in stock here in June 2022, just a little bit, maybe a tester. I don't know, they're testing something. I don't know how they operate. But you can see their price, £13.84, £13.84. And what you can see there as well is the price dropped there because people chased it down, and the offer count went up as well. And it kind of went up, stabilized, up, and then it's absolutely belted off a cliff. But that is down to 100% companies selling leads. 100%. That's what's happening now. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. People are genuinely offering, as you can see, all these statistics, exactly what you would punch in and what they would show you on a table or a lead or whatever they're showing you. Cost price this, sell price this, profit, ROI. Like it's a genuinely good product. Good reviews. It's like, but when it's offered to a lot of people, especially people in lead groups who will be inexperienced, otherwise they wouldn't be in lead groups, but most people started there, people still stay in there looking for golden nuggets. But if you're offered a lead, you have to understand that it will also be offered to a lot of other people, mainly inexperienced, and that will cause the price to drop off a cliff because the review count has gone up and up and up. Offer count goes up, price goes down. It's just, there's more competition, more people selling the same products. Let's just lower our price a little bit because we think that'll give us more chance to win the buy box, because ultimately that's what most people are taught, and it's nonsense. And actually no one knows the actual. People say, oh, it's 1%, 2%, this, undercut by a penny. It's garbage, because one, it's proven by this graph, you will cause a drop off for everyone. And then you are right here, having to sell your product at a loss right now, today, Do you hold? Like pay storage fees? What do you do? That's the real, genuine, tricky question. And if you're one of these people that cause this bottoming out, then you either are extremely experienced and going, right, let's just get rid, or you're very inexperienced. So you're like, well, let's just chase the price down. Like, as you could see by the sellers, some of them are really, really experienced. And as you can see by the reviews, 84,000 reviews, Superfood UK, selling the product at a loss. Now he can get the product cheaper, 100%. Maybe his isn't a loss. But that lead came out around about here because I saw it. Now I've come back to it, boom, dropped, offer count went up. So I genuinely was surprised to see people with like hundreds and hundreds of reviews buying a product and then bricking the listing. Because whether it's them doing it manually or whether it's their repricer bot, you cannot argue. Offer count went up, price, bang, came down. So this video is just teaching you about what bricking a listing is, how to avoid it, when you see a product like this and you look at it in Seller Amp. I know some people have BuyBot Pro. Like this is like, look at it, BSR 1%, 18k, sales 94 a month. Like that was the cost price from a supermarket. So yeah, it's not wholesale, is it? It's supermarket prices, and that's Amazon prices. Brilliant profit, magical ROI. And at the time, there genuinely wasn't a lot of offers. It was like 5 or something like that. Yeah, I can compete with that. 94 a month, BSR 1%. Then boom, flooded in, and whether people manually wanted to get rid, or maybe even the 4 sellers on the group, maybe 4 of these experienced sellers were the ones that were selling it at a decent profit margin. Then they saw the product being advertised on like a lead group, because they'll have their fingers in those pies as well. And then, oh no, we know, the experienced sellers know that the listing is going to be bricked by inexperienced sellers. So they then also brick the listing by selling off at cheap. Because even if some of these sellers, like they're selling it at £14.46, whereas we can see it's been stable around 20 quid. So if it's been stable for that long, an experienced seller with 84,000 reviews, like they've dropped their price to that amount. Now with that amount of views, they have to know what they're doing. Of course they do. So they've actively chosen to drop their price, get rid of their stock. For whatever reason, they could be having a sale, clear out, or it could be because they know about these leads that are being sold, and they're like, oh no, someone's selling our product, right, get rid. So they then just chuck it in at a really low price, get rid of it, they made profit on the rest of it, whatever. And then what does everybody else do? Everybody else goes, oh no, they're going to get the buy box, or they probably are getting a buy box because that is a portion of it. And then everyone just naturally drops their price. Their repricers naturally lower their prices. I mean, you've got this All Day Essentials and 95 of them in stock. And whether it's experienced sellers just trying to get rid, or whether it's inexperienced sellers undercutting, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. The fundamental thing to understand is if the offer count goes up, the price goes down. It has to. So when you are trying to analyze a product and that looks brilliant, you have to know, did you get it from a lead source? And if you didn't get it from a lead source, you probably should have your fingers in a lot of lead source companies anyway, because you need to understand what everybody else is doing in a market that can and will crash if too many people sell the product. I hope you learned a few things from this video. Make sure to give me a like and subscribe for more videos. This has been The Real Amazon FBA Seller. Thanks for watching.